Deadly protest overseas sparking a conversation here on the Suncoast, what locals hope to accomplish with a downtown Sarasota rally. Plus, a push for a new resource that would help patients avoid opioid addiction. And police make an arrest in a string of shootings in the Newtown community. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. First at noon, a developing story. Sarasota police making some headway in finding the people responsible for a recent string of shootings in the Newtown community. Late this morning, police announcing they have made an arrest in connection to at least 2 of the shootings. Those shootings occurred in North Sarasota between May 8th and May 13th. Police have not yet released any information about the person arrested or where the investigation now stands. But we should get more information at 3 o'clock this afternoon when Police Chief Bernadette DePino and detectives will hold a press conference. ABC 7 will be there. We will stream it live on our Facebook page. And remember, you can be alerted about breaking news on the Suncoast through our app. You can find it in your app store by searching for WWSB or My Suncoast. A Suncoast congressman is hopeful his bill that could create a national opioid database will clear a big hurdle in Washington today. Representative Vern Buchanan says the database would create a centralized source of information for patients and family members and how they can manage pain and avoid opioid addiction. The bill would also require the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to create a resource guide on its website where healthcare providers and patients can access all opioid prescribing guidelines. A House committee is expected to approve the bill today. There are 10 fentanyl drugs so powerful the Food and Drug Administration has created a program to regulate them. The program is called TURF-REMS, but Raycom's National Investigative Team found holes in the safety net. Tonight we'll take a closer look at the federal government's oversight on these potentially deadly opioids and Big Pharma's role in it all. Be sure to watch the latest investigation in License to Pill tonight at 6 o'clock. Right here on ABC 7. Well, clashes this week over the U.S. Embassy moving from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem have turned deadly for dozens of Palestinians. Later today, protesters plan to rally along Sarasota's Bayfront. ABC 7's Marla Spence explains what the local protesters hope to accomplish.
Today, protesters will be right here at Marina Jack to voice their concern and to speak out against what they say is a massacre of Palestinians. Dozens of Palestinians were killed this week when demonstrations near the Gaza border turned violent. The protests happened as Israel celebrated the U.S. Embassy's move to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. Yesterday was also a landmark in the Middle East. Israelis celebrated as the anniversary of the Jewish nation established 70 years ago. Palestinians also have a name for it, Nakba Day, or the Day of Catastrophe, when more than 700,000 Palestinians were displaced from Israel. The local protest is organized by a group called Answer Coalition, whose aim is to stop war and end racism. One organizer says the group supports the Palestinian struggle for freedom.
This is about human rights and right and wrong anywhere. Killing peaceful protesters is wrong. We want to go out and call for everyone to stand in solidarity with Palestinians' right of return to their ancestral, to their homeland.
Brian Ellis says his group is not anti-Semitic. He says many of his members are Jewish, and they'll be right here at Marina Jack protesting tonight from 7 to 8. Now, the Suncoast isn't the only area in Florida that's seen protests. Orlando protesters stood in solidarity of Palestine on yesterday and also on Monday. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. Let's get a check now on our first alert forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi. That event taking place this afternoon where there could be some more rain around, huh?
Yeah, there could be. The showers and thunderstorms near the coast, I think, will occur a little bit later in the day. They'll start off in inland areas, like yesterday, kind of work their way back toward the coastline. But absolutely, there could be some rumbles of thunder. There could be some lightning pops. So all things that we have to be cautious about in this abnormally dry month. You normally don't expect that sort of thing, but certainly we're getting it. Stuck in a wet pattern that will continue. Our rainfall totals for the month are great. We're at 2.5 inches, about an inch above where we should be. And for the year-to-date total, we're closing in on being in pretty good shape. So, you know, no complaints really. We're just getting a lot of rain in some locations, and especially down around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor and in South County from Inglewood southward. There could be issues a little bit later on today during drive time with some rain showers. If we get some heavier rains down there, there could be some minor lowland flooding and maybe some ponding on roadways and things, and consequently have made it a first alert weather evening because of that. You know, this is kind of going to be a minor sort of situation, but nevertheless could be an inconvenience to some drivers during drive time. Otherwise, we're in kind of a quiet zone right now with most of the showery activity kind of funneled in between two tunnels, north and south, with not a lot of an issue in between. All the steering currents kind of sending the showers in those directions. We're not seeing too much around here. Probably won't until 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Severe weather causing serious problems in the Northeast. At least 4 people are dead. Thousands are still without power after a spring storm ripped through the area yesterday. ABC's Michelle Franzen shows us what they're dealing with.
A powerful, deadly spring storm swept through the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, downing trees, knocking out power to tens of thousands, and leaving a trail of destruction. In Pottstown, Pennsylvania, hail pelted neighborhoods. In Livingston Manor, New York, hail was followed by dangerous winds. Reports of possible tornadoes in several states. An 11-year-old girl died in Newburgh, New York, after a large tree crashed onto the car she was in. In Saugerties, New York, a 10-year-old girl had a close call, describing the storm as it barreled through.
I just heard a big crash and the house shook, and I saw the tree and I just started screaming.
Wind gusts clocking over 70 miles per hour in some areas. The ominous front rolling across the Hudson River, darkening Manhattan's skyline within minutes. Hundreds of flights canceled or delayed out of the major airports, and commuter rails blocked by trees and debris left thousands stranded at New York City's Grand Central Terminal. New York's governor declared a state of emergency in counties affected and mobilized the National Guard to help with recovery efforts. The storm battered mid-Atlantic states, and Baltimore, Maryland flooding, now the concern.
Water was well above the curb and up to the houses.
Up to the houses.
And you can see the cars still down in the middle of the road.
Residents up and down the East Coast now faced with weeks of cleanup. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
More funding may soon be on the way for housing in the state following Hurricane Irma. Today, Governor Rick Scott submitting the state's action plan for over $600 million to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. That money would go to replacing and repairing damaged homes, building new affordable housing, and giving grants to impacted businesses. HUD now has 45 days to respond. Plenty of excitement these days at Sarasota Jungle Gardens about a baby lemur. This little guy was born in late March. He's a ring-tailed lemur pup. His handlers say he's already very independent despite staying close to mom. They say the animal's birth is a great opportunity for their facility.
It's pretty unusual. They're actually critically endangered in the wild, so it's pretty rare and pretty awesome to be able to have them in zoological settings like this, so we can use them for captive breeding and make sure that we keep their populations up in captivity.
No name has been chosen yet. The park may have a contest in the next couple of weeks to do that. You can see raw video from our visit this morning either on our website, mysuncoast.com, or on our ABC7 Facebook page. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a deadly disease running rampant, how the Congo is trying to control a fatal strain of Ebola. And as we get closer to summer, we'll show you how you can protect your eyes from the Florida sun.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A little bit more clouds in the inland area, a lot of sunshine near the coast. We are headed to a day where our temperature will soar to 85 degrees after kind of a cloudy, rainy start. We have a 50% chance of showers again this afternoon. Similar to yesterday, they will start in inland areas. They will become more numerous in number, and then they'll build back toward the coastline so that everybody gets a chance at some of this 50%. We'll look for potentially some slow-moving storms that could produce some fairly heavy rainfall in certain locations, and because we've had some pretty good rains over the last couple of days, the ground is getting to be saturated. So if any particular location gets very heavy rain, why, then you could see some low-lying flooding, maybe some ponding of water on roadways, that sort of thing. Nothing that would threaten residences, nothing like that, but nevertheless could be a kind of a disruption to your evening commute. So we'll call it a first alert weather evening. We have a 3 p.m. chance of about 50%, same thing at about 7% as those 7 p.m. as those showers build back toward the coast. And then after the daytime heating kind of goes away, we'll start to trend down the rain chances just a little bit. Right now everything's pretty quiet. You know, we've got a few light showers left over, but that's really about it. As I mentioned, the earlier showers, some of which were pretty strong in the parts of Manatee County and down to the south around Inglewood, they had a couple of pretty good hits of rainfall as well. So it's kind of stabilized this area of the atmosphere, I think, a little bit, plus some drier air kind of filtered back down and around. So right now, the hot spots for rain activity is up around the Big Bend region and south of Fort Myers as well. And I think that's probably going to be the case for the next couple of hours. We're still watching this area of low pressure out in Gulf waters, not so much because it poses any tropical threat, but because we're kind of waiting for it to lift a little bit further north, get over land, and be absorbed by a frontal boundary, so its impact on us lessens just a little bit. There'll be another low back behind it, I think, upper level low over the Gulf waters, developing after that one exits in a high pressure ridge out in the Atlantic, kind of giving us this southwest flow that'll continue and keeping the clouds kind of spinning around just as they are now. The Hurricane Center anyway gives that area where that low was located now a 0% chance of developing. So we're not really concerned about that too much. There's some of that drier air that I think may have kind of trailed in behind some of the earlier thunderstorm activity with the moisture kind of split between north and south across the peninsula. A little bit later on, I think that will all fill in, and with daytime heating destabilizing the atmosphere, we'll get those showers going. 82 our current air temperature, dew point a sticky 72. Fair amount of cloud cover depending on where you look in the sky. Inland there's more cloud cover around, and a breezy wind south at about 18 at the surface. So small craft need to exercise some caution out there today. So this little upper level feature lifts north, moves into the deep south, and as it does so, gets absorbed by a frontal boundary, gets carried away, dissipates, but it does spread its moisture along the mid-Atlantic. Over the next several days, I think we still have excellent chances of rainfall around, so we'll stay in this extended wet period, probably for the next 5 to maybe 8 days, as one low is replaced by another low and the southerly flow continues. Periods of heavy rain are possible, and the storms may be shifting a little bit further inland and to the other coast as we head into the weekend. Forecast shaping up like this for boaters. Again, kind of a breezy wind out there, 15 to 20. And as we head into the next several days, we'll keep that rain chance high at about 50% for the next several days. And as over the weekend, maybe a little bit better chance of inland showers, but the rain chances stay high right straight into next work week. Scott?
John, thanks so much. In health news today, Congo is in the process of trying to control an outbreak of the deadly disease Ebola. Congo's health ministry says 4,000 doses of the experimental Ebola vaccine have arrived in the capital. Those vaccines will now be sent to rural areas where 2 confirmed cases and several suspected cases have been reported. The World Health Organization says more doses should be deployed in the coming days. The experimental vaccine was shown to be highly effective in Guinea back in 2015 during a deadly outbreak there in West Africa. As we get closer to summer, doctors want to remind you to take care of your eyes. Along with the heat also comes the UV rays from the sun. A nonprofit group has declared May as Ultraviolet Awareness Month. UV rays can damage your skin and your eyes. An optometrist says there are some simple ways to protect your vision.
Sunglasses that block 99 to 100% of your UVA and UVB rays, which are the most damaging. Buying them from a reputable store is another way to ensure that you're getting the best protection possible. Wearing a hat outside just to block UV damage from skin and the eyes as well.
The risk of UV rays affecting your eyes increases if you spend long hours in the sun, have certain retina disorders, or have had cataract surgery. Also, certain medications can have an impact on your eye sensitivity to light as well. Well, you still have time to check out a Women's Health Expo going on right now in Venice. You can get information about healthy living and hear presentations on health-related topics. It's happening at the Plantation Golf and Country Club on US 41 south of Jacaranda until 1:30 this afternoon. All right, time to head over to the kitchen and say hello to ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and her guest today. Judy?
Hi there, Scott. Well, I'm always happy when Paulette Callender joins us in the kitchen. Paulette from the Spice and Tea Exchange. What are you preparing today?
We're going to make a really tasty garlic and onion chicken and vegetable bake.
Great.
And we're also going to do a woodsman's rice with a kale salad.
Well, it sounds delicious. Great options as we're getting ready for Memorial Day because not everybody grills and lots of people have to bring a side dish. So I think this works really well. And I love your seasonings. Let's tell everybody where you're located on St. Armand so they can find you to get some of these great herbs.
Yeah, we're at 345 St. Armand Circle. So we're right on the circle. And all of the blends that we're going to use today, well, all of the blends in the store, we make fresh every day in the store. So you can come in and sell them. And as you can see, we have nice small packets so you can try different things.
That's what I tell people. It's better buy small. Of course, I have my beautiful jars that I use daily right behind me. So stay with us because we're coming back and Paulette is going to show us a very simple dish. It is trending is to use your sheet pan for dinner, and we have beautiful rice dishes aside. We'll be back in just a few minutes to get started.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Everybody can make something.
because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
People in the world by Time magazine this year, and by now it seems the whole world has heard of Meghan Markle. But who was she before she met Prince Harry? ABC's Maggie Rulli takes a look at how the American actress is adapting to her new role as British royalty.
He's picked a self-made woman. She's a feminist, extraordinary American success story.
What makes Meghan different from anyone else who has ever married into the royal family, and that she's biracial.
Before she was making history, Meghan Markle was a kid growing up in Los Angeles, where her dad was a lighting director in Hollywood. Her parents divorced when she was 6. When her father moved to Mexico, Meghan stayed in LA with her mom, nabbing her very first acting gig at age 19 on General Hospital.
Just 1 second.
And then in 2011, becoming best known for her role as Rebecca Zane for 7 seasons on the show Suits.
You wouldn't even know where to look without me.
But Meghan was always pursuing 2 of her passions, majoring in both theater and international studies at Northwestern University. It was her humanitarian work that bonded her with Prince Harry. They were set up on a blind date in July of 2016, and their connection was immediate. In November of the following year, Harry and Meghan announced their engagement. But with the happiness that followed, so did scandal. Just days before Meghan's father was supposed to walk her down the aisle, Thomas Markle told TMZ that he was going in for major heart surgery Wednesday morning, following a heart attack last week, and he wasn't going to be able to make the trip to London at all. Even before news broke out of his current heart condition, Meghan's dad's name has been splashed across the tabloids after an embarrassing report in Britain's Daily Mail accused him of working with the paparazzi to stage photos. Kensington Palace said Harry and Meghan are asking for understanding and respect as they look forward to the big day.
Meghan wants to keep her own identity and to make her own stamp on this day.
The previously divorced biracial American actress will soon be making history in her new royal family. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And you can watch the royal wedding live right here on ABC7 in a 5-hour special edition of Good Morning America this Saturday morning. Coverage of the royal wedding, a modern fairy tale, will start at 5 o'clock in the morning and run until 10 a.m. Back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Judy and Paulette from Sarasota Tea and Spice Exchange.
Thanks, Scott. So let's get started, because cooking on one pan is trending, and it makes life so much easier for everybody.
It really does. Okay, so I've already diced the chicken.
Okay, boneless chicken breast?
Boneless chicken breast, and you can use any protein that you really want.
Great.
You could use tofu or fish, steak. We're also going to use some cauliflower and broccoli and carrots. Another alternative to this would be to use Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I love Brussels sprouts.
You could even use beets if you wanted.
Oh, so basically you could do this 2 nights a week, and it could be honestly a different dish.
Yeah, you can use anything really that you want, as long as you keep the sizing consistent so it all bakes appropriately at the same, at the same time.
That's an excellent point, because a lot of people forget that, and that's like anything. If your protein is thicker on one side, you have to be aware that's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, so we're going to add just a few carrots here, and then I'm going to add some of the seasoning and a little bit of olive oil.
So what type of seasonings did you pick for today?
Okay, today we're going to use an onion obsession.
Oh,
which is, it's going to go on the whole thing. Okay? So the onion obsession has chopped, diced onion. It also has onion salt, and then we put a Pinot Noir salt in it, which gives it a really nice little flavor.
Yeah.
And
so I'm going to take a little whiff here.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Oh man, that is.
It's
yeah,
amazing.
It smells like toasted onion.
And another nice thing to do with that is put it in with sour cream or Greek yogurt for a dip, for a French onion dip.
My niece Michelle does that all the time, and it's with your herbs. She'll open up different packets and kind of make her own spice blend, which is really fun.
Yeah. And now we're going to put just the Tuscany on our chicken. Okay,
Perfect.
so it's going
All
to
right.
differentiate it a bit. And then we're going to bake it at 375.
No oil or anything?
Yeah, we're
or
going to put a little bit
drizzle?
of oil on it.
Okay.
Okay, and this is, of course, from the Ancient Olive on St. Armand's.
Yeah, it's another great place.
It is. So, yeah.
About 375, 350?
375 for 30 minutes.
Okay. Sounds
and
good.
And it's easy.
And that's it, and then it's ready to serve.
Yes.
So when we come back, we're gonna go over to this rice dish, and I'm excited because you could eat this cold, warm, or room temperature, right?
Exactly.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we're coming back to finish our lovely meal with Paulette from the Spice and Tea Exchange.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
It's a prescription drug so dangerous.
I should be dead.
Doctors have to follow critical safety steps before prescribing it. But there's a major problem. One company distributing the drug is the same one enforcing the safety protocols.
How do you trust them to run this program? It's giving the inmates the keys to the jail doors.
Don't miss this all-new investigation, Licensed to Pill, tonight on ABC 7 News at 6.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders, innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
We begin this half hour with your first alert forecast. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now with our chances for more rain today. John?
Yeah, they're going to be occurring a little bit later on. All that blue sky you see out there, that actually spells the potential for showers this afternoon. The heating of the day will help to create those showers as we progress through the afternoon and temperatures rise into the mid-80s. Right now, things are pretty quiet, just kind of like they were yesterday. Actually, we have some showers to the north of us and showers to the south of us, but not much right over us. The focal point actually for showers today at this hour is the Big Bend and down to the south of Fort Myers. But as we head into the afternoon, the gap between the two will fill, and we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms building in inland areas and gradually drifting toward the coastline as we head into the later afternoon and evening. You can see that kind of massive swirl in the cloud pattern. There's still a broad, disorganized, low-pressure area out in Gulf waters, but the Hurricane Center now giving it a 0% chance of developing. The upper-level winds just not conducive for that. Local temperatures coming in around low 80s most everywhere, even some upper 70s at this hour. That's about 2 to 3 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago, thanks to that little extra cloud cover and rain shower activity this morning. Day planner calls for about a 50% chance of a later day shower or thunderstorm, and we'll call it a first alert weather afternoon and evening. Scott?
John, thank you. New at noon, more construction coming to downtown Venice soon. The city approving a contract to improve several streets in the downtown area. Those roads include West Venice, West Miami, and West Tampa Avenues. The roads will be getting stormwater upgrades, new sidewalks, and updated landscaping. The priority is to get West Venice Avenue done in time for the holiday parade in November. New at noon, new information involving the Florida Sheriff's deputy who did not confront a gunman during the Parkland school massacre. The Sun Sentinel newspaper is reporting that 55-year-old Scott Peterson is receiving a monthly state pension of more than $8,000. Surveillance video shows Peterson outside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on February 14th as the gunman killed 17 people inside the school. Peterson later said he thought the shots were coming from outside the building. He resigned and then retired after the shootings and started receiving pension payments in April. A warning now for those who vape. An autopsy reveals an exploding vape pen was what killed a St. Petersburg man. Firefighters found the man in his home earlier this month. The medical examiner's report says the explosion sent 2 pieces of vape pen into the man's skull. He also suffered burns on about 80% of his body. The death has been ruled an accident. The FDA says it's not clear what causes some vape pens to explode, but it could stem from battery-related issues. Now to a mysterious explosion that left 1 person dead in Southern California. A blast shook the first floor of a medical building yesterday afternoon. Plumes of white smoke poured out of the building and debris was sent flying into the parking lot. The explosion killed 1 woman and at least 3 others were hurt. People in nearby buildings were forced to evacuate, including dozens of small children across the street. The FBI, ATF, and bomb squad spent the day combing the scene for answers and talking to witnesses.
We heard a very loud boom, and I actually felt the building shake.
And saw the fire come out on one side, the insulation on the other popping out and whatnot, debris all over the floor.
These photos inside the building show the extent of damage. A federal official told the Associated Press the explosion was believed to be an intentional act. Pilots are now being warned about rising dark ash from the Kilauea volcano. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says an ash plume from the volcano's summit crater has risen as high as 12,000 feet above sea level. Hawaii officials say some vents are releasing such high levels of sulfur dioxide the gas poses an immediate danger. If people are exposed to that gas, it could make them choke or unable to breathe. Talks with North Korea are hitting a setback ahead of a historic summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un. There are now questions over whether the president will end up sitting down with the North Korea's leader next month in Singapore. ABC's Tara Palmieri explains why that critical meeting might not happen.
Less than a month away from the historic peace summit, North Korea threatening to pull the plug. This after the North Korean Central News Agency called routine military drills conducted by the U.S. and South Korean forces a, quote, provocative military ruckus. And now North Korea's first foreign minister saying Kim Jong-un won't sit down with President Trump to talk denuclearization if the U.S. insists on, quote, unilateral nuclear abandonment. Taking a shot at National Security Advisor John Bolton, saying, we do not hide our feelings of repugnance towards him. Bolton had called for the same kind of nuclear abandonment in North Korea that was enacted in Libya. That is, strict monitoring and inspection to ensure denuclearization.
The one thing that Libya did that led us to overcome our skepticism was that they allowed American and British observers into all their nuclear-related sites.
Kim, just last month, committed to, quote, complete denuclearization at a summit with South Korean leader Moon. Today, the White House distancing itself from Bolton.
I haven't seen that as part of any discussions, so I'm not aware that that's
a model that we're using. Look, again, this is the President Trump model.
And even adding they weren't surprised by the about face from Kim.
Look, this is something that we fully expected.
Last week, while welcoming the 3 American detainees released by North Korea, President Trump said he was hopeful.
I really think he wants to do something and bring that country into the real world.
President Trump has certainly raised expectations, mentioning that some people say he already deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. At the same time, he's tempered them, admitting that it could all fall apart. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, the White House.
High above us in Earth's orbit, astronauts on the International Space Station are spacewalking, trying to fix some pumps on the spacecraft. Meanwhile, the station's 6-man crew is expecting a delivery. A supply ship is scheduled to launch Sunday from Virginia, but it's weather permitting. A Sarasota High School senior is being recognized for bringing home the gold. Josiel Torres winning his 2nd straight state championship in the high jump earlier this month. Torres' coach calls him the best athlete in the county.
He's the best athlete in the county for sure. He's the only one that qualified in all four of his events. So he won the high jump as a state champion 2 years in a row, but he also qualified in the long, the triple, and on the 4x1. So he's our only athlete in our area that qualified for 4 events at the state meet.
It was a good accomplishment, you know, go back-to-back like that. Made the coach proud, made a lot of my family proud, so it was nice to go back-to-back like that.
Torres will continue his track career next year at the University of North Florida. Congratulations to him. Back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Judy.
Okay, Paulette, so we have the entree done. So easy. What are we going to do with the leftover vegetables?
I'm going to save those for later in the week, and I'm going to use our new Vudavon curry blend.
I
so
love it.
Just another sheet. I'm probably going to use some filet.
Okay.
And just do another sheet pan recipe.
Sounds great. Mix it all
Easy.
in, maybe a few other vegetables included. So now let's get to the rice. So we buy the packet, the Woodsman rice blend, and cook it according to the directions, right?
And that has some different grains in it. It has lentils. It's a really nice earthy blend.
Yeah, and lentils, so delicious and so good for you.
Yes. You could also use a quinoa if you wanted. Now with the kale, we're going to remove the stems.
And see how Paulette's doing it, how you just kind of pull on that? That's a great way to do it instead of taking the knife. But you want to get, this is the chewy part. That's really fibrous. You can throw it in a smoothie. It still have some fiber in it. But this is the way you want to cook with it.
Yeah, I think that gets a little bitter too at times.
It sure does. Yeah, it sure does.
So we're just going to chop a little bit, and we're going to add a little bit more kale to this.
Okay.
And as you can see, I put some feta in with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of feta powder. So this is another thing. We have cheddar, feta, Romano, and blue. Great, our truffle salt with Romano on popcorn. But anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one that got me hooked on that.
It's so amazing.
Making the popcorn. I sprinkled the Parmesan and the blue cheese on my popcorn. It's so
we're just going to add a little bit of the feta powder.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to just give it a little bit of a stronger kick and a little different consistency. And then this is a new product that we have, which is our roasted black garlic sea salt.
Oh, yeah. So that'll really have that caramelized taste of the garlic.
Yeah, so adding this to a salad is going to give it a little bit of a crunch texture. And you don't need a lot because this is a mineral salt. The flavor is really going to go a long way.
Okay, great. Now, do we need to add any oil, or I know you have balsamic vinegar here.
Yes, we can add.
Unload?
Yep, we can add a little bit of balsamic, and make sure, again, I go to the Ancient Olive because there's
high quality, right?
Yeah, there's some that's cut with corn syrup, and we don't want that.
No, I agree. Is that about enough, or should I keep going?
I think it looks perfect.
Okay.
And we're going to top it with some chopped grape tomatoes.
Nice and bright. I love it. I love it. So again, trending our rice salads. So you're right on point, my dear. Now listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and I'm going to get to sample it, and I'll let you know how you can enter our restaurant contest and get the recipe. Thanks, Paulette. It looks wonderful.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Peter
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature of about 85 for a daytime high. Heavy rain possible this afternoon and evening particularly, with about a 50% chance of rainfall beginning in the afternoon in inland areas and kind of working back toward the coastline, similar to what it did yesterday at about 50% at 7 p.m. as well. First alert weather day, we'll call it, because of the potential of some heavier rain around. Yesterday we had some flood warnings that flew, and I think we might see the same sort of situation this afternoon. We've had some heavy rain around. More heavy rain will lead to those isolated pockets of low-lying flooding and street flooding, that sort of thing. We have across the region right now pretty quiet conditions. In fact, we even have sun shining, which is helping to actually destabilize our atmosphere and bring us closer to that time when we'll see those showers and thunderstorms build. We've got a lot of rain to the north of us and down to the south as well, but I think earlier storms probably stabilized our atmosphere a little bit right in here. We were the only place on the west coast of Florida that saw morning showers for the most part. And so right now we're kind of quieting down just a little bit, but that will pick back up again as this area of low pressure continues to spin in the northern Gulf waters and just funnel a southwesterly wind flow at mid levels of the atmosphere, bringing in tropical moisture and setting the stage for more showers and thunderstorms. By the way, that low pressure area, which a few days ago had a 40% chance of development, now has a 0% chance of development. Upper level winds hostile for any kind of formation or organization, so we're not going to see that. Winds spinning around, bringing some drier air back through our region, plus the earlier thunderstorm activity stabilizing the atmosphere. That's the reason that we have that sunshine out there, one of the reasons. Right now we're at 82 degrees, probably top it out at about 85, thereabouts. 72-degree dew point is very steamy, and that's continuing to funnel up enough moisture to kind of pose a good chance of showers each and every day. I mean, for this time of year to have a period of 5 to 7 days of good thunderstorm chances each and every day, that's pretty unusual. And that's what we're having. South wind coming in at about 18. It's very breezy today, and consequently small craft do need to exercise some caution out there on the waters. Low pressure area continues to spin, lifting north, falling apart as it does so, absorbed by a frontal boundary, sinking south, spreading the rainfall across the mid-Atlantic with time. I think what we'll notice is a high pressure ridge building in the Atlantic, which will favor, I think, more shower activity over on the other coast with time and bring some heavier rainfall by the weekend into interior and east coast sections. But an extended period of wet weather, periods of heavy rain possible, and then we'll watch those storms maybe shifting a little bit more inland with time. So today through the afternoon, I think we'll probably see good chances of rainfall in our area, and then, as I mentioned, with time, better rain chances, and maybe as much as over the next 4 days or so, accumulations of 5 inches or better in parts of the east coast of the state, and maybe some inland locations for us seeing some pretty good rainfall as well. Winds are breezy on open waters today, boaters. South at about 15 to 20, as I mentioned, so small craft do need to exercise caution. Moderate chop on your bay and inland waters. Today 85, tomorrow about a 50% chance of showers and about the same sort of temperature for several days in a row, with that 50% chance of rain as well. And then as we head into the weekend, I think we'll start to push those showers back to inland areas, but keep rain chances in the forecast into next work week. Scott?
All right, John, thanks. Uber announcing some big changes about the way it handles sex crimes against passengers after a CNN investigation found more than 100 drivers had been accused of sexual assault or abuse. As Drew Griffin reports, it's a big reversal from how the company had been handling legal issues.
She went out for a night drinking, passed out in the back seat of her Uber ride home, and this happened.
He was already penetrating me, and then I remember him performing oral sex, and then after that I don't really remember.
She was with a friend, called an Uber from a bar, blacked out, and woke up to find she'd been raped by her Uber driver.
The next morning I woke up and both my pants and my underwear were on the floor.
Both women sued, and Uber tried to force both out of a courtroom and into arbitration, a quiet settlement, and a non-disclosure agreement that, according to their attorney, would keep their stories silent.
Uber's goal all along has been to prevent the public and consumers, of which 50% are female riders, from finding out how many incidents of sexual assaults happen in Uber vehicles.
Now, following a CNN investigation exposing more than 100 Uber drivers accused of sexual assault or abuse in the past 4 years, Uber announced big changes on how it's handling sex crimes. No forced arbitration, no confidentiality agreements to keep victims silent, and what the company promises as turning the lights on to the problems of sexual assault. Uber will commit to publishing a safety transparency report, including data on sexual assaults and other incidents.
It's a journey. We're in the middle of that journey. We're seeing great results as we're moving forward to actually make sure we're doing the right thing.
It is a big change for Uber, which refused to release any data to CNN during our months-long investigation. But attorney Gene Christensen, who has sued Uber on behalf of sexual assault victims, thinks it's just a first step.
Uber's announcement today doesn't go far enough for me because they're saying essentially, okay, we know the risk is still there. They're saying it's going to happen, and when it does, it's okay now for you to file your claim against Uber in court.
Christensen has filed a class action lawsuit against Uber, which the rideshare company is still fighting. She also wants Uber to do a much more thorough job of vetting drivers. As part of its new announcements, Uber says it will now require rescreen drivers' background checks every year. Drew Griffin, Washington.
Now, the company still handles those background checks through a private company with no fingerprints required. Soon after Uber's announcement, Lyft also said it would stop forcing victims of sexual assault to go to arbitration and remove the confidentiality agreement. Well, Amazon Prime members can save money at shopping at Whole Foods. Prime members can now get an additional 10% off on sale items at Whole Foods stores. But in order to get the discount, members have to scan the Whole Foods app while checking out. Amazon bought Whole Foods last year. Earlier this year, the two companies debuted free 2-hour delivery for groceries in 10 cities, and that service is expected to expand within the next few months. You should see fewer fake accounts on Facebook. The social media site says it has disabled more than 1 billion fake accounts over the last 6 months. But even after all that disabling, Facebook says 3 to 4% of its active monthly users are still fake. Fake accounts have gotten more attention in recent months after it was revealed that Russian agents used them to buy ads to try to influence the 2016 elections. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the debate that is dominating the internet is an audio file saying Laurel or Yanny. We'll give you a listen so you can decide.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. And right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. Well, Paulette, you did it again. You took great flavors, simple ingredients, and you came up with a whole dinner. So will you remind everybody what you prepared today?
Sure. So we did the chicken with the cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli. Added our onion obsession and some Tuscany.
Yum.
Simple, easy, healthy.
Exactly.
And then we did the Woodsman's rice with some kale, feta cheese, feta powder, and some diced grape tomatoes.
And the balsamic.
The balsamic
brings that level up.
Now, can you taste the nutty? There's also dried porcinis in this rice blend.
I can get that flavor as well. Excuse me. That is so delicious. I can think of 5 different things for that: black garlic, salt, and the powders as well.
So good, yes.
If you want this recipe, just log on to mysuncoast.com. Click on the recipes and the videos. It'll be right there. And it's Wednesday, and that means every Wednesday we draw a name from people that are registered for the dining page, and you can register for our newsletter simply by clicking on the icon. And you might win a $50 gift card to one of our local restaurants or gourmet stores.
It's lovely.
I think we'll shoot it back to the guys, and I'll take a couple more bites of that rice.
Yes, there you go. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Reese Witherspoon's production company is getting into the documentary business. Its first feature-length documentary will focus on tennis legend Martina Navratilova. Along with her success on the court, the film will spotlight the star's role as an activist for feminism, gay and lesbian rights, women's athletics, and other social issues. Michael Jordan fans will want to hear about this. There will soon be some binge-worthy television to see. ESPN Films and Netflix are teaming up to make a 10-part documentary series about the NBA star's life. It will profile the Bulls' legendary 1990s era, including previously unreleased footage from the team's championship run in '97 and 1998. Jordan is participating in the production of this. The series is called The Last Dance and will premiere sometime next year. A few days after she returns to the big screens in Hotel Artemis, Jodie Foster will pick up one of the few film awards she doesn't already have. The actress and director is set to receive an honorary degree from the American Film Institute for her contributions to the art of the moving image. Foster will be honored June 11th at Hollywood's famed Chinese Theater. She checks into Hotel Artemis, I hope I'm saying that right, on June 8th. Now to the trending debate that's splitting the internet and our newsroom today. Yanni, or Laurel? Millions of people are divided on what name they hear in an audio file. Take a listen.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Well, it seems pretty clear to me, but what do you hear, Laurel or Yanni? We want to know. Just visit our Twitter page at MySuncoast to cast your vote in the ongoing debate. I only hear Laurel.
Chris,
Well,
did you say
I
you
only heard
Yanni?
Laurel today, but I heard Yanni last night.
Our camera operator says he
Little
heard
weird.
both.
Little
Says
weird.
he heard Yanni.
I don't get it.
But you only hear Laurel.
It's very clear. Like a laurel oak tree. That's what I'm hearing.
I've heard both today as
Yeah.
well.
Huh.
Weird.
Okay.
Messing with us.
Have a wonderful day out there, and we'll see you again at 5.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.